So, I'm back. I figured I ought to do a bit more. I haven't done any more to the base since I shot the last video. And it's now the 1st of December, and Bronwyn's birthday and Christmas are fast approaching. So, what I have done, I machined this up. I cheated. I used my Workbee CNC, and this is going to be used as a support for the neck while I work on it. I'm going to try and find a bit of rubber matting or something to go in there to make it less slippy and a bit more grippy. I said that the fret ends needed dressing, and I sorted out, I thought I'd already made a block for dressing the ends of the frets, and I had. This is it, and it holds the file square, which for coarse dressing is basically what you want. But I want to trim the frets over by a little bit, so I made another one today. This is slightly posher. I've now got some Allen bolts rather than hex head bolts. These are just 5mm bolts that are threaded. I've tapped the wood directly. It's a little Barco file, and it's just gripped in there. If I slacken those off, they're only finger tight, the file comes out. It's a standard little file. It's a single cut file, so that just slots in, and this slot is cut at 35 degrees. I did that by tilting the blade on the table saw over, and the kerf on the saw blade matches the thickness of the file really nicely. So that's one thing that's gone really well today. Setting the camera up in the workshop. The workshop is incredibly cluttered. I'm known for having the most untidy workshop around. I got it on a tripod. The tripod doesn't go up any higher than it currently is, so taking a shot of what's going on the bench is going to be quite tricky. When I did the other video, I was outside on the table that I made in the garden, and it's a bit lower than the bench, so it was quite easy to get a decent shot. So I found a piece of anti-slip mat. I'm just going to get how much I need, and we'll cut a piece to fit in there. Just let it lap over the sides a bit. So if we cut it there, and there. So that goes in there, and then hopefully the neck, yeah, that's good, and it's reasonably firm. In fact, we could clamp that block on the bench and that would make everything quite stable. And I've got some dog holes and pups that we could use to do that. Right. So there we go. And in theory, we can use this to just dress off the sharp bits of the frets. Let's give it a try. Oh. That appears to work. Swing that around. I made my block too long. Turn the file over, or turn the file round. Doing the other side, we need the file facing the other way. They still need to be dressed, but that's taken them most of the overhang that was present off. Which yeah. Right, so we need to just dress the ends, so I need another file for that. Let's have a hunt for that back in a bit. Right, so this is a small file which I think I actually bought from Crimson some years ago when they had a special offer on. And it's got a very smooth, polished, safe edge on it for running against the fretboard. And so we'll just start at one end. Well, I can certainly feel the difference where I've dressed one side. So if we go back. Yes. Well, there's just a few more to do. I won't bore you. I'll come back when I've finished them. So, ends of the frets are all dressed. There's no real sharp bits left anymore. I was thinking I ought to think about the machine heads. So, got these traditional elephant ear type machine heads. The shaft itself is a fairly loose fit in the holes that are in the headstock. I've got these ferrules that need to go in. The back edge of the ferrule is serrated to push in and grip, and they don't drop in. I think they're going to squeeze in reasonably easily. I'm going to try and push them in square. It's a bit more than I can do with thumb pressure, so I think it's going to be a case of squeezing them in with a clamp. Let's see if we can screw this up, shall we? Let's see if we can put a clamp on there and just squeeze that in. We've got lots of clamps to choose from. Right, so need to hold the neck up on edge, and I've got a couple of these great big old wood jaw clamps. I think that's just the thing for holding that, if there was room on the bench to set it up. So let's see, I'm just going to pop that either side of it. Onto here, and we can then clamp that to the bench. Like so. And that's going to hold the neck still while I try and squeeze that in there. Let's have another F clamp. There, and sure enough, with gentle clamp pressure, the ferrule goes in a treat. Right, let's see if we can do the next one. Right, so the ferrules are in. Next, we need to look at the machine heads. Now, these have screws. They locate through the ferrule quite snugly, and these will drop in. Of course, they're all sealed in their own plastic bags. China appears to have an endless supply of plastic bags. And they do come with little screws which of course are a tiny Phillips head. They're not very long, and I think I'm going to need to drill pilot holes to ensure that they go in the right place. So I'm going to need to line these up and then drill pilot holes. Let's sort out a suitable drill. Right, well I think the thing to do, if I take the others out, I can put the square against the side of the headstock and square up the end of the machine head, and then I can carefully put a little clamp on there to just hold things square, and then I think we just need to pop some holes in. So I can put the centre punch through, just dot three out of four screws, and then we can drill the holes for those and put those in, and then do the fourth one. Right, well of course in collecting the tools needed I managed to kick the tripod, so your frame of view has changed slightly. We've got a 1/16 drill, and it's a case of just making a small hole for those screws, and then we can see about popping the screws in somewhere here. A little tube of wax screw lube. I think just a little dob of that on the end. And then it goes nice and gently. Oh, that's nice. Right. the last one. Let's take that off of there. There we go, our first machine head fitted. Lovely. It's just a case of rinse and repeat for the other three.